Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to my weekly advice videos, which I actually think I fell a week behind, so I am sorry about that. Things have been very hectic. I have the flu right now, so it took me like 3 hours to do my makeup for this video, and let me turn on lights. It's like really, I feel like it's really dark in here. Um, so yeah, and like even it's not even that great. And it took me some time to kind of figure out what I wanted to make the video on. I didn't have any personal situations going on at the moment. So I was trying to figure out something that I have been through. So I think that this week I am going to discuss toxic relationships. And I think all of us have either been there or there right now or know somebody who has. And toxic relationships are so hard to deal with for so many like different kinds of reasons, and there's different kinds of like toxicity relationships, I guess you would say. One, I guess the main one I want to talk about is being with somebody and you two are just like, basically what a toxic relationship is when you're with someone and you guys are together either for a while, a short amount of time, whatever, and it's just not good for each other, but you don't see that, or you see it and you don't want to leave for whatever reason. It's really hard to get out of something like that because you do love the person. It's just that like you're not meant to be, and you know this, and you just don't want to believe it. So when you're with somebody and you're like fighting or whatever here and there, that's one thing. Okay, it's normal to fight with like your significant other here and there, whatever. That's totally normal. Even to do it once a day, it's totally normal. But when your fights are so bad, like you're literally just like, it's just out of control. When that person is belittling you, or they're like putting you down, whichever way, that is when it starts becoming toxic. When it's happening every day, it's happening in front of your kids or your family or in public or whatever, that's when it's toxic. Now, it's not just relationships as in like, you know, significant others, but it also can be toxic friendships as well. And another way it can be toxic is when you are giving your all and they're giving nothing. So you're giving, and they're just taking, and taking. And that's when it can become a huge issue too. And again, we are so blinded by this person that we refuse to see the negative that is going on, and or dismiss it in some way and just keep going on. The problem is that when it keeps going on and you keep it going on for so long, it gets harder and harder to leave. You should know this just from being in a relationship in general. Like if you're with somebody for 2 months, it's a lot easier to leave that person than if you're with somebody for 8 years, 10 years, or whatever. I know I personally was in a very toxic friendship with somebody, and it was out of control, like bad. Like it was just a lot of secrets running around, lying to people about our friendship, and it was on both our sides. So basically, it got to the point where I stepped back and I was like, wait a minute. I'm not even myself when I'm hanging out with you, because I can't be myself, and I don't even know who I am anymore because I've lost myself in that process. And that's where it's an issue, especially if you're the one that's like, you know, why do we have to be like this, or can we please just try and be normal? And the other person's like, no, that's a problem too. Like you need to see that you're better than that. So that also is a very big toxic type of relationship, and it's not really fair to you because you want this person in your life so bad that you don't let them go, and then you just dismiss their lies and their like abuse and all that, or whatever. So I don't mean like physical abuse. It could be physical, emotional, whatever kind of abuse. And you just dismiss everything, all the negativity, to keep them there and just ignore it. It's only gonna grow. It's not going to go away. It's not going to get better. And we all secretly, I think, hope in the back of our minds that it does. So yeah, I mean, I wish I had some really good advice for this type of situation other than leave. I don't. I really don't. There's no way around that. I mean, you can try talking to the person, but chances are they're not going to see it. Being in a toxic relationship, I'm going to tell you exactly what it does. is it holds you back from bettering yourself. And I've learned this actually through my own therapist, which I finally got my therapist back, and I love her. She's amazing. And I was talking to her, and I really shouldn't probably share it too much, but it was me talking to her, so I guess I could tell you a little bit about it. But I was talking to her about me and my husband's issues, and how, like, he has issues, like he is bipolar, that he's not addressing properly. He's not bad, he just yells a lot. He's like very short tempered, but just with me, not like the kids or anything, just with me. And she was telling me that it's not really fair that he can go ahead and be bipolar and be that way and not try to fix himself while you're out here trying to get help. That kind of holds you back from bettering yourself, because now he's pulling you back. Like, you know what I mean? He's dragging you down. When you're sitting there, you're trying to find better, like, coping mechanisms, he is holding you back from doing that because he's being so negative towards you. Yes, that is definitely a problem. That's kind of how, and I'm not saying my marriage is toxic, but that's kind of how toxic relationships work. Like, now one person that's being the negative person is bringing the other person down and just dragging them down and making them feel worthless while making them feel like they need you at the same time. That's not something I don't think anybody would want to be part of that. So I'm going to end this video because I'm very sick right now. But the only thing I can really say is, in a situation like that, really evaluate your situation and decide, is it worth staying in, or are you better off just moving on and then, like, just starting over? Or maybe you could even talk to them. There's a possibility you could talk to them and then bring it to their attention. No, don't say that they're toxic. Just bring, like, I feel like that maybe we're not seeing eye to eye, or we're not on the same level. Whatever that you want to talk to them, how you want to word it, do not say they're toxic, because then that's when they're going to get really offended by it. And then they start getting defensive, and there's a fight. You don't want that. You don't want anything where, like I said in the last video, you don't ever want to point the finger at them. You just want to be like, listen, we're not seeing eye to eye on certain things. Let's try this. Because there's a possibility, maybe they're not even realizing it, and they may change. But if they do not, and you give them all these chances, especially if it's just a friend or something, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but pull away, back away, do what you got to do to move on with your life. You have to think about yourself before these other people. And you're married in a relationship, that's a different story, because that's a whole life right there. But when you're friends with somebody, yeah, it's important. I mean, definitely important, but you have to kind of, weigh out what is better. Is it better to stick around with this person, or is it better to move on and find another friend who will appreciate me? And when it comes to relationships, that's a whole different ball game. That's something you would have to really weigh out, because you can't just up and leave when you're married or you have a family. There's always counseling and stuff like that, but you could, like I said, you could try sitting them down, talking to them is probably your best bet. But so that's all I have to give you today, because you've literally taken all my energy just right now. And I really look horrible, and I still haven't even called out of work yet. I have to call out till Friday, so I'm not going to be very happy about that. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a better day than me. Stay safe. Please use hand sanitizer and get your flu shot, because flu in my state has gone up 60% in this, like, last month or two. So, like, everybody has the flu, and I got it from work because my coworker had it, and now, like, almost everybody I work with has it. So it's just like, it is spreading like wildfire. So please keep yourself and your family safe by getting vaccinated, of course. And I don't get a flu shot because I have an immune disease, so I didn't get it. But I really need to trust them to giving me the dead self shot. I just don't ever, or the dead virus shot. I just don't ever trust anybody to do that, because I'm just afraid. But it'd be better than feeling like this, I think. So anyways, so yeah, I will talk to you guys on the week of Christmas, and hopefully before Christmas. If I do not talk to you before Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating, Happy, Merry, whatever. But I'm going to try to do it before Christmas. So anyways, Love you guys. Have a great day and a great week.